Well, this was an unexpected find. I was just walking down the street, continuing down this beautiful green spine, and of course you get to the end of the canal and there's an outlet pit, so what you need maintenance access. I really like the way this is done. Okay, now's the moment where I need to admit that I've got this a little wrong and we're not getting the park.
But that doesn't mean that we can't talk about it. See, I was fortunate enough to be taken there a couple of days ago by Asla from the UNESCO IHE, and a few things struck me about the park, which is why I wanted to take you there. But the main thing is, I think it was a really good example of multiple use of open space. So the park serves quite a number of purposes. It's not serving like stormwater quality or pollution reduction purposes, but it's got a range of other purposes, some of which are water related. So the first thing to get the context of this you need to understand about the Netherlands, if you don't already, is that a lot of it is below sea level. So water management is really important. And so that means there are an awful lot of measures in place all around the city to try and prevent flooding. And one of those is what in Australia we would call a levee, which is effectively a continuous raised piece of earth to keep water on one side when it floods and keep the other side of it dry. So part of what this park does is it forms part of the levee around Rotterdam, because what Asla told me was that parts of Rotterdam are up to 6 meters below sea level. And so it's this complicated series of, well, I imagine it's complicated, maybe it's not, but it's this series of flood protections that allow Rotterdam to stay dry, stay habitable, stay a really nice city to live in, it would seem. It seems a lovely place to me. So it's this series of levees, and this park, part of it forms a levee. The next multiple use for open space is that it's actually a green roof. So beneath it are a whole range of shops, and then sitting up on top of it is this grassy park. It's really lovely. There are some water features up there. There are also what appeared to be some fruit trees, what appeared to be a community garden. There were definitely what were some herb gardens, although they were a little bit out of season. And it's just this really good, you know, the word's exactly this, multiple use of open space. Because the low path through the park, so it's a green roof, so it's got a fair bit of a change in elevation throughout the park. And it's not like you're standing on top of it, it's not like the top of it is the flood protection, no. If you're down, there's a path that runs along, not right at the very bottom of the park, but just, you know, maybe a metre or two, raised above the surrounding, the surrounding city. And that raised path is the flood levee. So that's the flood protection. And then the rest of the park raises up from there as it forms this green roof. And I thought it was really great and I wanted to show it to you, and that was that. The other thing, and this is really timely, that I found super interesting when I came out today to Rotterdam, is there are still all these trams running around the place. The public transport's really cool, but what's even more impressive is so many of the tram tracks, you can see it right here, so many of the tram tracks are embedded in grass. And so you've got these really beautiful green areas, green spines where the trams run, which I think was just incredible. And so that really struck me as well. So I think I really I've really enjoyed my day in Rotterdam. I found a few things that were really interesting. I walked down this green spine to begin with. We wanted to get to the park, but we saw it the other day, and I hope you got a little bit of a taste of that. We've got these really cool green spine train tracks, or tram tracks throughout the city. And of course we had that little bit of a stopover and looked at that low-key maintenance access track to the stormwater outlet at the end of the canal. And that's it. That is a brief afternoon, excuse me, a brief afternoon in Rotterdam looking at Worcester stormwatery things. I hope that you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.